Good morning, everyone, live from the hive. Yes, indeed, on call once again. Here we are. This is going to be short and sweet, guys. We have to block off the street and whatnot. We have a swarm of bees. It's springtime in the Rockies. Yay! Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy here, and Hosh is on camera. Say good morning, Hosh.
Good morning, everybody.
Okay, we got a call. We're in Winter Haven, which is here in Sierra Vista, and it's a beautiful community, golf course and all that shit. And but can't deal with killer bees. Of course, no one can. Now we got a swarm hanging up in this tree, right up in here. We're going to show you and we're going to throw the nets on quick. But look at how active they are. Look at how busy they are already. Now, many people in this country are still relocating swarms like this. This is not a good idea because these are killer bees. These are Africanized bees. Genetically, in the state of Arizona, all of the bees are Africanized. It's a done deal. So welcome everyone to the hive, live from the hive. We're live in Sierra Vista. We got the emergency vehicle out. We have cones out. People have to go around us. We're in a median right here on the main thoroughfare in Winter Haven. And we got a call from management and said, we got a swarm of bees. Everybody pretty much in Winter Haven, well, actually in the desert Southwest, should be totally aware of these guys because that used to be the most benign thing in the world. There are, 5,000, 3 to 5,000 bees there. It's a small swarm. There's no doubt about it. It's a small swarm. There's enough bees. It takes 500 stings to equal a snake bite. That is size right there is what killed a good buddy of ours 3 years ago over in Bisbee. That size of swarm. Yes, it looks so benign. It looks so innocent. He got on his bulldozer, on his backhoe, and tried to joggle the tree, and they killed him. These are no joke, everyone. So, have we got a bunch of people with us this morning, Hosh?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, thank you so much for getting with us. We're live from the hive. We're on call. You guys know that, right? We don't know. As usual, this time of year, we're going to be back in 20 minutes or 2 hours or 2 days. But thank you for sticking with us. We're going to make quick work of this, all right? It's going to be a good educational thing, how to mitigate the threat. That's what we're doing. Not relocating these things. Really, to relocate these would be like taking that bomb from there and putting it somewhere else. Ain't going to happen. So we're going to throw on our nets quick. And hold on, Hosh, I'll go ahead and throw mine on, and then we got our brand new spanking suits on from, look at this. Here you go. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We got our Blue Water Cafe patches on. I don't know if you guys are on or if you're, what the hell's going on? Mel and Dan, if you guys are on, nice to see you guys. Anyway, of course, I'm not reading comments. Hosh might in a minute here, but right. We are.
Well, how do you know they're Africanized? That question.
Well, okay. Oh, yeah. How do I know they're Africanized? Because I asked them. No, actually. That's the problem is you can't tell. At this stage in the game, it's assumed here in the desert Southwest. The reason it's assumed is way back in the 90s, we used to send all of our honeybees that we caught off to the labs in Tucson for testing a percentage of Africanization, because that was when they came in. That was when they were coming into the state of Arizona, into the U.S. actually. They came into Texas in about 91 and Arizona in 93. And, look at Host got the doctor bag and the spray adhesive. And so in 1998, the labs called up everyone that was sending them samples and said, don't send anymore. 100% Africanized. So now here we are, 30 years later. So, yeah, they're Africanized. You can't tell by looking, though. It's a serious problem. So you want to do the honors, Hosh?
Sure.
All right. So I'll explain what's going on here. Look at how active those guys are. I'm going to get around here where we might be able to see a little better. Oh, what do you think, guys? All right, so that is a swarm of Africanized bees. Can't tell by looking. All right, can everybody see that okay?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Swarm of Africanized bees. So what Hosh does first is he's going to coat the outside with spray adhesive. Now what this does is this makes it so that it's like an onion. And you can't, if the outer layer peels off, they get the alarm, then that thing can explode like a bomb, literally, and turn into a cloud in the air, and then there's no controlling them at all. So that looks really good, Hosh. Now he's going to take the pyrethrin and put it right in the middle, and just give it a little squirt in the middle of each. We're killing them from the inside out. Yes, we are killing them. Yes, now they are honeybees, But I want everybody to know honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. Honeybees do not belong here. So I've developed this method of safely removing swarms so there's as least of them flying around as possible, and to mitigate the threat. That's what we're here for, is to mitigate the threat. We're not here saving honeybees. We don't give a shit. The party's over, the honeymoon's over, because before, get this everyone, before 1872, there were no honeybees in the state of Arizona. They're totally invasive. They're like the buffalo grass of the insect world. That's looking really good, Hosh. So now all these bees that are still flying around, because everybody, they used to say that they were resting. Well, okay, the bees don't rest, for one thing. This is really looking good. We'll just give this a minute to work, killing them as they drop into the hive and making sure that they can't fly once they get in the hive. So they are not resting. What they're doing is, the queen, which was in the middle, she's the heart and soul of the matter. What they were doing is apartment hunting, unless they decided to live there.
And they did.
And they did. Okay, so how we know that? See, this is very unusual behavior. It used to be European bees would never ever do this. But, oh, you can see the white nubbins.
A lot of them.
A lot of white nubbins?
Oh, yeah.
Then they were decided. Yep, look at that. Here, I'll have you grab this and take a look. This is really interesting, guys. So you see the white nubbins there? You get both cameras on it?
Yeah.
So that is beeswax. So they had attached that right to the tree, right?
Yeah, they were putting up nails.
They were putting up nails. Yeah, they were putting they're pouring concrete, basically. So they were deciding to live there. All right, hand that back and get some more spray adhesive going. We got to make this safe for the neighborhood. So this is really unusual behavior, everyone. European bees would never ever decide to live on a tree limb right in front of God and everybody like that, ever. They would always want to get under something, in something, etc. But about 50% of the swarms that we're removing from tree limbs these days, they're building, that white stuff is beeswax. They were putting in concrete and rebar.
A lot of it.
A lot of it, yeah. For this size of a hive,
They've decided
a swarm.
They decided to build a hive.
And you know what? This is technically a hive, because the only difference between a swarm and a hive is that millisecond they decide to live somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying before about the queen in the middle and all, what they would normally be doing,
I'm gonna get the brush.
Good idea. We'll get the brush. I'll climb up and show everybody what's going on. The queen would be sending out scouts or apartment hunters in every direction. Okay, and apartment hunting, literally going to look at the neighbor's dog. Oh yeah, look at this. This is all beeswax. You see that?
It's impressive, actually.
See how white? Can you see that right there, everybody? So they had decided to live. That's all beeswax. They were setting up shop. Wow, so weird for these guys. They're right out in front of God and everybody. It's just bizarre. I don't understand these guys. So normally, back in the day, the queen would be sending out apartment hunters in every direction, sniffing around everybody's eaves, their doghouse, under their shed, etc. And now we're going to coat that with pruning seal or automotive undercoating, whatever we have on the truck, to mask the pheromones where they had been, because those, okay, all that white stuff there, that's all beeswax, and that smells good. And so another swarm could land there. Well, we don't want that. So I have found over the years the best thing to mask that pheromone that soaks into the bark, wood, concrete, whatever they're attached to, is this, the black shit in a can, pruning seal, automotive undercoating, cooler coat, whatever, all the same crap, I think. And so we're going to coat that. So normally, now all these bees coming back from the field, you know what, Hosh? Yeah. I'm going to knock down a few. Let's go ahead and just knock down a few of these that are coming back from the field. Yep. Because, of course, even with a small swarm like this, everybody, there are a bunch of bees out sniffing around because they want to get to know the new neighborhood and where the flowers are, especially this time of year because everything's in bloom. I'm getting out of the way of the...
Now, some people conflate murder hornets and killer bees. They look at these and they say, hey, those aren't killer bees. And they are. They really are. They're not murder hornets.
Oh, God, no.
Some
hornets...
Some people...
Okay, murder hornets are half the size of Hosh.
Yeah.
Okay, Hosh could be riding one around. Murder hornet's absolutely huge.
But these are Africanized honeybees.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
actually
question.
are Africanized
And,
honeybees.
you know, if you don't know about any of this, do a little research. A simple search on Google, you get the lowdown.
Yeah, look up this this guy called Killer Bee Guy. He's awesome,
Yeah.
really handsome and whatnot. I've been doing it a long time. I hear sense of humor. I heard he's horribly irreverent though. You got to watch out for that kind of
Yeah.
shit. Anyway.
Yeah, he swears like a sailor in a bee suit.
Yes, indeed. Aha. That's an image you can't get out of your brain now, isn't it? Sailor in a bee suit. So anyway, these bees coming back from the field, they cannot live without the queen. They cannot live without the rest of the hive. We're going to still knock down a shitload of them because, of course, otherwise we'll get calls from neighbors and all that. But we're trying to make quick work of this because we are right here in the neighborhood and right on the golf course, actually. You can kind of see the golf course back in there. This is like a crossing area up ahead here for golf carts. Just dangerous as hell. So in a normal situation with European bees, they would be sending out scouts in every direction, and then once the queen decided on where they were going to live, they would all, the ball would explode literally like a bomb, and they would all, I've seen a ball like that disappear into a hole the size of my little finger in like 30 seconds. It's really, they act as an organism, as a unit. But obviously these guys decided to set up shop right there, right on the tree limb, because there was the white nubbins of comb there. These Africanized bees are a different animal. They are not our grandfather's honeybees. Okay, don't conflate them with European bees. They're not. They're a crossbreed. They have European genes in them. They also have the pure African genes. So they're Africanized, and they are a whole different animal. We're still learning about them 30 years out, right? They've been in this United States in 30 years now. It might be 30 years for us down here, but for you guys up in the rest of the country, it's new, but they are there. They're in all the lower 48 states now. So, yeah, they killed a beekeeper in Connecticut, and there was a stinging incident of Africanized bees in Manchester, New Hampshire. So they are up there. It's new up there. We've been living with it for a long time down here. And of course, unfortunately, people really have no idea. Exterminators and whatnot have no idea. Your wind is blowing that right just back away.
Yeah.
Maybe if we just give them a couple of minutes, they'll
ball up.
Yeah, ball up maybe.
So, you know, last year in the month of August alone, they sent 26 people in Cochise County to the hospital.
Yeah.
Some
here.
of those, in Cochise County, 26 people in the month of August were sent to the hospital. And some of those stinging incidents were incredibly brutal.
Oh,
we're talking about
shouldn't
people
have
that
lived.
received thousands of bee stings.
Shouldn't have lived.
And are
what about
to this
that
day
guy?
disabled because of it.
Yeah, what about that guy that the father-son team up in Sunsites?
Oh yeah, in Cochise area.
Yeah, the Cochise area.
Yeah.
They when they found when they got there, the EMTs from Sunsites got there. The son had taken 300 stings. This is one hive. All right, they were. You can see that. What did we call it? Demo bees, didn't we?
Demolition bees.
Demolition bees. Oh, I got to show you guys Hosh's patch. Isn't that just fucking awesome? I got to get me one. Anyway, call it demo bees. You can see it on YouTube. Check it out. It's really amazing. They were so pissy. We went 2 weeks later, and they were still pissy. But when the EMTs got there, the son had 300 stings. He's okay. Dad, on the other hand, was unresponsive on the ground, so covered in bees, you couldn't see any skin. Yeah, horrifying. And so he lived, and they got him to the hospital up in Tucson, and there's a whole story about that. You'll see it all on Demo Bees. Check it out on YouTube.
I'm gonna give a minute to ball up.
Yeah, if they are.
Is, look, we've got sidewalks on either side of us.
Yeah, we got. Oh,
and
this
this
is way too
this
dangerous.
is a gated community. It's there's people out walking all the time.
Hey, Hosh, if this is a gated community, how'd these guys get in? You know why? Because they're bee legals.
But here's the thing, this swarm here, well, it's become a hive now, or it was a hive. They would think nothing of jumping off this tree and mauling somebody on the sidewalk and then going back to continue their nonsense.
And the problem is you wouldn't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It could be the cologne somebody's wearing. They don't like the shampoo that they used that morning. It could be that little bunny rabbit running across the road there. It could be the color of your shirt. That's the problem with these Africanized bees. A, you can't tell by looking that they're Africanized. It's genetic. And you don't know what's going to set them off. Now, all of these bees that are still partner on, they're remnant bees. They're leftovers of the hive. They're like an amputated limb. They cannot live without the rest of the hive. And I use the amputated limb analogy a lot because, well, it works, you know. And it's like, so these bees are kind of like my finger. If my finger was not attached to my hand, that would not be right. But my finger could not go start a new human. Same thing with these remnant bees. They can't do that. And so they will die off like individual cells of an organism. So anyway.
Now, who was it that called you about this, Reed?
Oh, it was the manager of the whole place. Yeah, because see, Winter Haven is a gated community, and so they have the HOA and everything like that. And boy, these people, the management here is really wonderful. And so Faith gave me a call, and she said, you know, I have to deal with everyone, especially in situations like law enforcement or fire stations or communities like this that will get bees once or twice a year. It's just the way it is. And so she gives me a call and she'll say, you know, we got a ball of bees in a tree, or we got them under this shed, or whatever the hell. Or, you know, something, water meter boxes like that one across the street here. Those are always a big one. So she gave me a call and said, yeah, we got this ball of bees in this median. Well, the people that live here are very, very astute about it. And we have someone that is wondering what we're doing here. And so anyway, well, I've got a wave traffic on here. Got a little bit of a clusterfuck. I got to see what she's up to. So anyway, she's on the phone. Oh, I don't know if that's Faith or not. I couldn't see through the window. Anyway, of course, people are always curious about us being in bee suits and whatnot. But so it worked. It's working really well.
Yeah.
Knocking them down.
They're gonna keep coming back, of course, for a little bit.
Right. Well, yeah, we're really knocking down a lot of the remnant bees. See, the spray adhesive works really well because their wings stick together and it knocks them to the ground. And so we're making it safe for the neighborhood.
Do you want me to take that?
Huh?
Do you want me to take it?
Sure. Yeah. I'll wait. Well, as soon as she rolls the window down, then we'll go communicate. Then we'll go communicate. So we're making it safe for the neighborhood. There's some folks that I've done bees for before. Just driving by. So anyway, she's on the phone. So we're making it safe for the neighborhood. That's what we're here to do. We're mitigating the threat. If you have bees, and I don't care where you are in the country, and you're not a beekeeper, because if you are a beekeeper, also become well-knowledged about Africanized bees, because we don't want to see them kill you. They killed a beekeeper in Connecticut. And you can't tell by looking once again. But if you have like bees under your shed or up, if you have a ball of bees hanging in a tree, don't go near it. They are now deadly. That's what killed Buddy Dan Oldfield 3 years ago now. 2.5 years, something like that. It's just a ball like that. Very simple, but not simple. Dangerous as hell. You know, that many bees is, well, deadly. It takes 500 stings to equal a snake bite. And there is like around probably 4,000 bees there. These bees are coming back. We can see them flitting around up here, Hosh. Check it out.
Yeah.
So these are all remnants. They're going to die off. They can't live without the queen. They will ball up somewhere. And then it's over, basically.
Yeah.
Yay, we did it. So.
Yeah. They are honeybees, but they're Africanized honeybees, a.k.a. killer bees. So
they're much better at everything.
There's zombie honeybees that, you know, will kill your dog and kill your goat.
Actually, roll your window down and I'll come talk to you. I don't want you to get stung. I gotta let these guys go by.
Well, they don't build it from scratch. They build it from wax that they collect pollen and nectar, and then they create wax inside their bodies and pull it forth and then build with it. Those are their building materials. Africanized means that the European honeybees were bred with African honeybees to create Africanized honeybees. That's what that means. This is in Sierra Vista, Arizona. What I am spraying right now, yeah, all honeybees in Arizona. Well, all the feral unmanaged hives. So there are people with bee boxes that requeen, but this is a feral hive.
Thank you, guys.
Whether they should or not, I don't. That's a bad move. Keeping honeybees in Arizona, period, is a bad idea. At this point, you tell the difference through genetic testing. But see, in the early 2000s, Tucson genetic scientists, in laboratory in Tucson, determined that 100% of the feral unmanaged honeybee hives in the state of Arizona were Africanized. In other words, all the wild bees in Arizona, all the wild honeybees, I should say, in Arizona are killer bees. So we don't ask questions, we just take them out. Yeah, they escaped a lab in Brazil. The downside is aggression. You got it. Thanks, those of you who were with us that know the story and, chime in and kind of help with the conversation. It's really good. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. And, Killer Bee Nation, we love our fans. Thanks so much for being with us for another job. There's more coming. We had a very, very wet winter this year. And spring's been off to a slow start, but a very wet winter. Lots of bees are coming. Nest at parents' house. How to get rid of them. Can you repeat? All honeybees in Arizona are Africanized? No, all the feral unmanaged honeybee hives in Arizona are Africanized, aka killer bees. Africanized honeybees. I'm spraying glue, actually. So this just knocks them down out of the air, and the ants get them on the ground. That's right. A tree trimmer in Austin was killed by killer bees actually about a year ago. It was in May of last year. And then strangely enough, a young man named Austin up in Ripley, Ohio was stung multiple times. He did survive, but he took about 5,000 stings. I don't know how he survived it because 500 stings is a rattlesnake bite. Well, I would call an exterminator. Wherever you are, if you've got bees, call an exterminator. Yeah, that's right. The Kinkajou sanctuary down there in Florida. Yes, those were killer bees that got that Kinkajou. Yep. I watched 3 dogs stung to death last summer from these. Yeah. So save the bees is great. We need to save our native pollinators and leave beekeeping to the professionals. And they manage those hives to make sure that they're not Africanized. And if they get Africanized, if they get too hot, they just put them down. No, but multiple rattlesnake bites are typically deadly. So there's no reason to keep these bees, by the way. Bees are crucial to the ecosystem, yes, but which bees are you talking about specifically? So, we've got a pinned vid on our TikTok channel. We're saving the wrong bees. You need to look at that. These bees do not need to be rehomed, no. Yeah. Honeybees are honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. There were no honeybees in the Western Hemisphere before the colonists brought them. So wrap your head around that. But that said, our issue isn't so much with honeybees, although they do compete with the native pollinators. Our issue isn't with the European honeybees. We are killer bee exterminators. We exterminate Africanized honeybees. Okay, well, whatever Kool-Aid you're sipping, you just keep sipping on it. Just do what they told you and believe whatever they say. But in Arizona, 100% of the feral unmanaged honeybee hives are Africanized, aka killer bee. And they're an existential threat to humans, to livestock, to pets, and to our native pollinators. the bees that were here and have always been here in the Americas. You can't tell by looking. And if you got any more questions, I'm all done answering questions about Africanized bees. You know, do your research. I'm not your damn secretary, so just look it up. It's hard to say. You know, why they're going after certain colors, etc. I'm gonna get another can of spray adhesive. You know, it's the thing is they're kind of like, you just never know. You don't know. You don't know why they attack what they attack, but they do attack. They light up all of a sudden, and they make a mess. And they've really hurt people. They have permanently disabled people. So it's a big thing. No, we don't. We know that 100% of the hives that we're encountering, of the feral hives, we know they're Africanized. And it's been that way here for 25 years. You just haven't heard about it yet. But anybody that lives down here knows the story. That's why the manager of this place called us. They all know it down here. Arizona, it's common knowledge for anybody that lives down here that these things are really bad news. So it's actually probably the most deadly thing we live with. Yeah. Fatherhood is great. Because I've answered questions multiple times about this, and you've popped on new, and I don't want to bore the people who are hanging with us, to be completely honest. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I can only say the same thing over and over again. But what I would say is, don't pop on any live stream and just start judging and slinging your presumptions. Do research. Fatherhood's very good. I'm real happy. Yeah. You know, we're still in that kind of early phase. He's kind of a sleepy worm, but he's doing great. So, anyway, no, we're out here protecting the neighborhood, keeping people safe. No sleep, it's true. Yeah, these are killer bees. They're all killer bees in Arizona, and we are exterminating them. And I think we've got most of the remnants at this point. Now, remnant bees, they're bees that were part of this hive that are out gathering stuff locally, but they, they come back around, come back home, and so they're going to be gathering up here for a little bit, but I think we've gotten most of them. You can see it's really slowed down.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
Did you guys miss me? Anyway.
I did, personally.
Well, you know what I always say here in the Wild West, if you miss me, reload. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we love you guys. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're going to head off to the next one. We might be on in 20 minutes. We might not. We just never know. But thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys. Go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey, please. And also, our memberships for YouTube are just almost set up. We're just getting the badges figured out now. Really cool stuff, actually. And we have 3 different levels that are going up. And with each level, you get more goodies, including the top level where you get a jar of honey every month sent to you automatically. Awesome! Killer bee honey. I don't know. Not somebody else's. Anyway, so that'll be coming in the next probably few days to a week. We'll let you know. And whoever wants to go on YouTube and become a member of the Killer Bee Nation, member of the Hive, can. Awesome stuff. We love you guys. We're going to run for now. Try to beehive yourself.
Right on.
Osh, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, and just I saw that question come up. No, honeybees or bumblebees are not killer bees.
No.
Bumblebees are native pollinators, and by exterminating these assholes, we're actually helping to protect bumblebees.
Exactly. Check out some of our other YouTube vids and some of the pinned ones on TikTok to understand all that a little bit better, because they're native and these are not. So,
yeah.
All right, we're gonna run.
All right, everybody, good to see you all again. And listen, you know, if you got a ball of bees like this up in a tree and you see it, maybe you're a manager of a gated community, definitely call an exterminator and get them removed, no matter where you are, because killer bees are in all the lower 48 states.
And Alberta.
And Alberta, Canada. 100% saturation in the state of Arizona, but they're gaining critical mass everywhere. Don't believe the hype. Don't worry about honeybees. Honeybees will take care of themselves. We got plenty of honeybees.
Too many.
We got too many honeybees. These are killer bees and they're a real problem, so you want to get rid of them. Call an exterminator and that's it.
Yep. Save your life or your pets or someone else's. Okay, guys, we love you. We're going to go be important somewhere else. Mwah. Talk to you later.